Hi, my name is Attorney Walter Rudolph Hnot III. I'm with Disability Resolution PA in Orlando, Orange County-based Social Security disability law firm. Let's go ahead and begin with the next question. Getting your disability evidence ahead of time is a good idea and a bad idea. Here's why. Okay, so there was one gentleman who was really genuinely trying to help individuals be found disabled, and there were a lot of issues that I found with this video, but overall I think that the person is doing a good job because of the general ethical theme of what he's trying to do, which is help people. So for that reason, I'm very happy with him. The video had a bunch of issues though. His main thing, which was you just go get your medical evidence ahead of time, submit it, and then you should be found disabled around on the first time. That's going to work for terminally ill people, compassion allowance listing people, gritting people, and people who really truly cannot work, right? And then basically no one else. So the grammar, if you had a pie and you had like those people, which was this much, right? So this much on the pie, everybody else, that wouldn't work for. Okay, so let's talk about that real quick. When most of you guys buy your records from medical facilities or get them for free, you're not actually getting what you need from the facility for what we actually use as part of the adjudication process for Social Security Administration disability adjudications. What you guys get are the daily notes. What we need is the abstract or the entire record. Some of the judges will require that they have the images, like Judge Mandry. However, a lot of the judges, they don't want the actual, or not record, the medical imaging, the images, like Judge Mandry wants those. But most of them don't. They just want the diagnostic impressions. What we use as part of the adjudication are the machine outputs, the findings, the analysis, the doctor looks at that and makes a decision, and then the diagnostic impressions. That's what we use to go ahead and see if you are in fact disabled. That's how it works. Okay, so is getting your disability evidence ahead of time a good idea? If you can get your actual records that we use, which you're almost always going to have to pay for, then yeah, that's good if you're getting the good stuff. But if you're just getting what most people get, which is like the daily assessment stuff, we don't use that. That's, we use it, but it's for the it's 1% useful, 99% useless. Okay. So that's one reason that it would be a good idea, or potentially a bad idea if you get the wrong kind of evidence. Another thing is that when you go to get evidence, if you are going to get it ahead of time, you are spending potentially weeks waiting for them to send you your evidence when you could have actually had an earlier protective filing date, which means that you're basically losing back pay. So if you spend weeks and months potentially, because some of these places take over a month to send out the medical records, just waiting for them to send medical records to you, then you have completely and utterly stabbed yourself in the face. There's no other way to put it. You've just literally lost money. So, and I know the understanding of SSDI, you don't get the first 5 months. SSI, you don't get the first month. But SSDI, you usually get retroactive benefits. And if it's SSI that you're arguing, well, then if you're not counting the first month, then whatever month you would file thereafter counts as the first month. So it's not a good argument. It's a terrible argument. So the point is, and I'm not trying to be mean, but the point is, file as early as you can and then use that time to buy records if you want. You'll be buying them, before the DDS rep gets a chance to buy them, so that's good. DDS reps only buy the records for physical, usually up to 2 to 3 years, or mental, potentially up to childhood. They don't always get all the records in, and they have to process the claim and move on. So if you don't have an attorney that they can send a letter to that says, hey, we need you to go get this medical evidence, then guess what? It ain't getting in the record. Okay, so another reason why it would be a bad idea to collect everything ahead of time is that you're losing time and you've just screwed yourself over by now having a much later protective filing date. Why it's a good idea is that you can get the evidence and have a copy yourself, but your disability attorney can almost just always provide you a copy once you get to the ALJ level anyways, so. What worries me is that a lot of people think that if you get your disability evidence ahead of time, that it automatically will equate to a finding of disability, or will almost always equate to a finding of disability. Let's say that you get your evidence ahead of time. You're just shifting the timetable, potentially, if you're really fast at it, right? Let's say that you magically get it all within 48 hours, which you won't. unless it's like one or two facilities, and then if it is, chances are you're probably not disabled because you haven't been seeing enough specialists. But the bottom line is, let's say you do it magically within 48 hours, right? And we're not saying, because realistic is 3 weeks to a month, but let's say 48 hours, right? Because you just don't have much. Then, right, you're submitting it with the hope and dream that you'll be found disabled. The same medical standard still applies to you. It's not like because you got it in faster, they're going to adjudicate you and give you 10 points plus towards your finding of disability. That's not how it works. You still have the same shot at being found disabled the first time as you do if the DDS rep went and bought those same records. So don't be fooled by kind of those videos that are like, just buy your medical evidence ahead of time and you'll automatically be found disabled. That's not how it works. You actually have the exact same likelihood with that evidence going in. In fact, here's one of the problems too. Sometimes when they get evidence from the claimant, they'll go ahead and send out for it as well. So you still have to wait because not all of you guys are trustworthy. I'm not saying that you're bad people, but certainly some of you are. And of those particularly not good people, you're not trustworthy, and for that reason they'll buy the records themselves. So if they get something that says, ooh, something really good, they'll send out for the same record and then they'll wait for it to come back. So don't be like, hey, I can alter this in Photoshop or Fireworks or After Effects or whatever and then submit it. You got a 50-50, man. They could send out for it themselves and that comes back. That's fraud on the government at a very high level. So unless you like the color orange, perhaps don't do that. Okay. Going back to the question, getting your disability evidence ahead of time is a good idea and bad idea, and here's why. Those are like the main reasons. I'm happy with that. Yeah, let's go with that. All right, we don't have to do super long videos. We've already done a bunch of super long videos. Anyways, my name is Attorney Walter Rudolph Hnot III. I'm with Disability Resolution PA. If you want the most up-to-date information, a free consultation, or a custom video made about a particular topic that you like, that's fine. Shoot me an email or give me a call, and we will go from there. Thanks so much. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.